Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you, another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks, sampler review series of videos I've been doing for a little while now. Go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff, then, folks, I'm going to talk about the stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff that, time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not going to lie, I just got through doing a bunch of food reviews and I needed something to wash it all down. But we'll get to that. Folks, it's super simple format. I'm going to go over there, I'm going to try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm yammering on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm inside my truck, and whilst I'm doing all that, folks, I'm wearing a super cool shirt. And folks, when I wear super cool shirts, I always like to highlight the super cool shirt. What super cool shirt am I wearing for you today, folks? What happens to be my ginger shirt. One of a few that I have. I really like this one. I don't know if it's my favorite, but if it isn't, it's damn close. If you're unfamiliar with the band Ginger, they are a Ukrainian progressive metal band that has been around for definitely over a decade at this point. They've had quite a few member changes. Like, I don't know if there are any original members left. I think it's like one. Because I know they went through a few drummers, even their very iconic lead singer, Tatiana. She was not the original lead singer. In fact, there was a funny instance where they did an interview with her and like a Q&A thing, and somebody asked, like, hey, what does ginger mean? And she's like, I have no idea. I wasn't there when they formed the band. But I've been a big fan of theirs basically ever since I became aware of them, back probably about a decade ago now. I've been trying to go over there and upsell them whenever I can, and thankfully they've been hugely successful. I think they're just a phenomenal band. I've seen them perform live a couple times now, really enjoyed it. I liked it so much, I actually have videos of said performances on the channel, just in case maybe you want to check those out. If nothing else, I'd be more than happy to kind of point you in the right direction, because I think they're an incredible band. But anyway, what am I trying for you today, folks? What are we doing here? Well, like I said, I just got through reviewing a bunch of food. I went out to a place called Sereno's Deli, tried some pasta salad, tried Italian beef, and I tried a burrito. And after everything was said and done, I was like, I am thirsty. I didn't get anything to drink while I was there, but I did have stuff in the house. So, what am I reviewing? It happens to be, boom! It is from Anchor, Soothing Beverage for the Traveler, Ginger Root Beer. Ooh, established in 1987. Now here's the thing, it's Anchor, but the reality is it's actually from Orca Beverage Bottling Co. And basically they go over there and they do a lot of these like old style sodas. Like they have like the names and rights and the recipes and stuff to go over there and put them out. So I don't know if Anchor was ever actually a real company or how that whole thing went, but yeah. Now it's done by Orca. I love root beer. If you watch the show, you know I love root beer. I have an entire playlist called Root Beer Reviews. That's where this is going to end up. Hopefully it's really good. Let's get a thing for the thing. It looks like this. Okay, let's do this. Ha 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 ha. Maybe. We'll see which one looks better later. And let's open it up. Let's see if it's a twist off. Yes, it is. I don't know if I've ever had a ginger root beer. Oh, that smells good. That smells like proper root beer. Let's give it a go. Oh, that's tasty. That hits on a lot of levels that I like a lot. It has just a darkness and a character of quality. However, no, I really enjoy this. I like this a lot. It hits really nicely. Like I said, it reminds me, the sort of hit that it gives off, it reminds me of Dad's root beer. Now, if you watch my root beer reviews, you know I kind of have a sort of a theory when it comes to root beers and, sort of the people associated that enjoy them. Because you sort of have two camps. You have, like, on the one hand, like your A&W and your mug, sort of sweeter root beers, very commercial, easy for anybody to get into. Then you have on the other side your root beers that are a bit more what I consider to be sort of root beer tasting, like your Dad's and your Barks. They're a little bit heavier, a little bit more bite to them. I definitely fall more into the Bargs and Dad's side of things, although not saying that the other side is bad or anything. So I love a root beer that's got a kick. I love a root beer that tells a story. And This, like I said, the initial hit had me thinking for just a second until the other flavors kicked in. Am I drinking a Dad's? And I love Dad's, so I'm a big fan of that. It is really tasty. It has that almost slightly smoky kind of quality that Dad's has. And then it has a nice sort of aniseedy, kind of sort of backing to it. It's not too strong, but it's definitely there. So you get like almost a little bit of a black licorice kind of taste. But again, just very, very mild. However, there are issues that I have. I want to see something real quick. Pure cane sugar. Good, good, good. Okay. Well, all right. Two issues that I have. One is that they call it a ginger root beer, but I don't know if that's supposed to mean that there's actually ginger involved. I think that would have been really nice if that was the case, because I'm definitely not getting really any of a ginger flavor. I think that could be absolutely delicious, though, if that was properly put together. I've never thought of that combination, but yeah, definitely not really a ginger kind of thing. Maybe if there was some heat to it or something, something to sort of work off of that, but there's really not. So if there is anything ginger, or maybe they're just meaning more kind of like the root, I don't know. But it definitely doesn't have much if any real ginger sort of flavor to it. The other thing is, well, I do really like the flavor. And like I said, I did compare it to Dad's, which is one of my favorite root beers of all time, where it kind of falls down and it sort of definitely loses out to Dad's, is in the depth of the flavor. It has a really nice hit, and it has some nice things going on, and then it kind of drops off. Whereas comparatively with Dad's, the full flavor runs through the entire experience. You're getting everything throughout the entirety of it. With this, it's a nice hit, but then it kind of falls off a little bit. And it's unfortunate, because I think if it held that flavor throughout the entire experience, I would genuinely consider this to be one of my favorite root beers. But yeah, if it just held the flavor a little bit longer, that strength of flavor that it has at the beginning, if it held on to that all the way through, this would be some really holy shit stuff. But two questions have to be asked. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it? Yes, and kind of yes. So here's the thing for me. I do still really like this. Even though I don't think it quite holds up to the potential that I was hoping it had when I first took that first swig, I still really like it. Again, it's a very evocative of like a Dad's kind of root beer, and that's, one of my favorite root beers, like I said. So it's one that I could still see myself getting. I like what it's doing. I appreciate the flavors that it's got. I just wish, again, just had a little bit stronger character. Comes close. Doesn't quite get over the hump the way I would have hoped. But it's very tasty. And I would definitely get it again. It hits the way that I want a root beer to hit. If I'm recommending it, though, you gotta like this type of root beer. If you're an A&W, if you're a mug person, again, nothing against you. I'm not trying to gatekeep. This isn't going to be for you. It is more of that, again, that sort of older style root beer, what I personally consider to be a root beer. It's got a lot going on. Again, it's got like the aniseedy kind of aspect to it, so if you're not into that. This is more of a niche root beer. This is a root beer for root beer drinkers. And again, not trying to be like douchey, like blah, 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 but this is for people who, they're not just casually picking up a root beer here or there. They want to experience the plethora of the root beer pantheon. But anyway, 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of your week, monumental rest of your month, stupendous rest of your year. Folks, go over there, have yourselves a truly root beer-tastic rest of your life. Because when it's root beer, folks, it's always root beer-tastic. Final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity into the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do can't do it all the time. I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Folks, not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Life can be stressful and frustrating and just bullshit sometimes, folks. And when we find ourselves in situations where we have to deal with said bullshit, it's important we go over there whenever possible. Take a step back. Try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives. Hopefully, do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, what's your personal favorite root beer? Are you an A&W and mug person? Are you more Bargs and Dads? Do you like something else? IBC is another popular one. I'm especially interested on an international scale for any of the folks who might watch my stuff from outside the United States. Really interested to see what you might have to say about that, because I know that root beer is kind of an American thing. I always figured that it would be, pretty pervasive, but, then I think when I started kind of, it's probably like sometime, maybe my late 20s or something like that. That's when I started kind of talking with some of my friends, through Facebook and stuff who lived abroad. And they were like, no, man, root beer's not really a thing over here. It's not. So I'd be interested to hear what you have to say about it. But anyway,